Ross Perry.
Pull it up. Pull it up. Show me where. Show me that.
There's nothing to pull up.
I'm trying, but you keep interrupting me, like as if people want to hear you talk.
Talk about flat Earth.
You got a tongue ring too? What do you do with that? All right,
Yes.
I
make your mom's ears clap.
He makes my mom's ears clap.
If I do need to get angry, I'll get angry if I need to. If I feel like somebody's insulting my intelligence, my anger will come out really quick. But to me, that doesn't mean that I have an issue. I allow myself to do that because I think that is my best defense against people's passive aggressive attacks.
Shut up with your tongue ring. Go do what that tongue ring is for, idiot.
A magnet is not an electromagnetic field, it's a magnetic field.
I mean, how do you know that for sure? I mean, I heard what you said, but it was like the math is not mathing. I'll tell you right now, I'm definitely obviously not the smartest guy. I mean,
was 10 minutes
What a
uninterrupted. You couldn't give me
giant
that.
gaping blue whale pussy. You could fit
Everybody
a
saw you
car
interrupt me.
inside it.
What a giant gaping blue
Holy
whale pussy.
fuck.
You don't even know what a pussy looks like. You got a tongue ring. Shut up.
pelotudo de mierda.
You yell, look it up at the top of your lungs when I'm teaching you stuff.
I said, pull it up.
Pull it.
What is it? You are not confusing me with this bullshit. What is the difference, dog? I asked, what's the difference? Well, introductory electromagnetic. No. I'm reading a paper is the first time I've been exposed to real things that scientists do.
That wasn't a paper. That's a website describing how science is done. So the kinematics.
The first time I've been exposed to real things that scientists do. What the?
Yeah, exactly. So,
Doing good, bro. Oh shit! No. Hold on 1 second though. No. I don't got nothing for you, but all the people on my live is seeing you right now. If they need your services, they gonna hit you. They gonna hit you up. Yeah, they gonna hit you up right there. Yep. What's your name, brother? Bonehead.
What the?
Ross Perry is best described as a pseudo-intellectual that has embarked on the search for the truth with one important caveat: reject all true information and embrace impossible possibilities. Outside of intellectual discussions, Ross seems to behave like an average person. That clip of Ross promoting Bonehead's escort services was a spur-of-the-moment joke that doesn't go any deeper than what I showed, but I had to show it. I couldn't make this video and just let that exist separately, so I pulled it up. My name is Steve, and this is my totally not creepy van. Ignore your survival instincts and hop in the back. This one's gonna take us on a trip. Ross Perry, also known as Real Offended on YouTube, is a contrarian that believes all the wrong things. Ross seemingly has an adversity to making any sense at all, but after taking a closer look, I was able to determine that he believes electromagnetism accounts for the apparent attractive force that we call gravity. And of course he believes that the Earth is flat. But I truly believe that if the Earth were flat, he would take the stance that the Earth is a globe. I'm not here to prove Ross's concepts incorrect. Reality does that every single day. I am here to talk about why behavior that would feel extremely embarrassing to the majority of us seems preferable to Ross. Let's pretend to examine that psychology as an excuse to laugh at Ross's ridiculous nonsense. Ross believes he was gifted secret knowledge by a mysterious millionaire.
Probably for the last maybe 5-6 years, I've been trying to tell everybody that everything was electric. Everything was energy, everything was frequency. I had been given this information from a millionaire that was mentoring me, right?
They were fucking with you, Ross. I'll let Ross finish introducing himself.
As anybody who's seen any of my other debates know, my favorite subject to discuss out of any other subject is history. I always say that I did my degree in political science, which is the history of lying. And it's such a good subject because you start to realize that everything you've pretty much ever been told is a lie. Well, that sounds cliche, right? But, I like to take the logical analysis or Occam's razor's way of looking at things when I'm examining almost everything, especially when it comes to history, So I'm a guy that was born here in America, and here in America, we're told a lot of things about history. As a matter of fact, we were told Saddam Hussein has weapons of mass destruction not that long ago. And a lot of people believe that. And guess what happened after that? A lot of bad things, So you know, like, of course, you guys hear this all the time, right? You know, if you're taking the negative, right, then you don't have the burden of proof. I mean, like, you know, you get it, right? But I just want to be clear, right? Most of the conversations that people have around this subject still are around whether or not it's even still possible to go to the moon, right? I said, I'm not, look, I don't necessarily have the burden of proof, but I know you guys know this already, and we can pull all this up if you want, right? But right now, right, in NASA, they're still discussing whether or not it's even possible for humans to leave lower Earth orbit, right? So before we even get into a conversation about have we been to the moon, right, we're still at the conversation on whether or not it's possible, right? Like, this is a fact, right? You guys know this. I mean, if you say that that's not true, then you're a science denier, right? You guys are science deniers. You don't believe what I guess NASA is saying, because they're saying, yeah, after we maybe find a way to get through the Van Allen belt, maybe we'll be able to get humans out of lower Earth orbit. So if they haven't figured that out now, why haven't you guys realized that people lie, right? And history is just a set of lies agreed upon. And I know I've said this in every single debate I've been in, right? I'm like, the number one issue in every part of society is government intervention, right? So this is like a government. Everybody knows that governments lie. Right? If you're out there right now, nobody's gonna say, "No, I believe my government 100%." All right. Well, how many times does somebody have to lie to you before you start assuming they're a liar? Right? Once, twice, 3 times? What? 50 times? I don't know. But for me, it's 1 time. All right. If I'm in a relationship with somebody and they lie to me to my face, I'm like, okay, well, I have to now verify everything this person says, right? So I hope that you guys don't have any information that is going to prove that we went to the moon from the people that are on trial today, right? Because the people who are on trial, right, like if somebody committed a murder, when they get on the stand, they say, I didn't do it. That's not evidence that they didn't do it, all right? So, like I said, this is my favorite subject to talk about, because you really do have to prove what it is that you're saying when it comes to history, because there's so many different stories. Matter of fact, there's countless footage of people back then saying that they never believed that we went to the moon. Anybody that watches that moon footage know we didn't go to the moon. To me, this is almost, I'm surprised a little bit that you guys even showed up today, because this is a little silly. Like, why do we still think that we went to the moon back then when we can't even get out of lower Earth orbit now, right? I mean, there's literally testimony from the son of the military guards, right, at the moon set, right, on his deathbed. You know, there's video testimony confirmed that yeah, like all of this was shot. I'm like, they had to admit this already. They literally said, oh well, you know, some of the footage didn't make it, so we had to redo some of the footage. All right, so if they lie once, like, I'm supposed to assume that they didn't lie the rest of the time now, right? Okay. So if you want me to believe something that happened in history, you're gonna have to produce some type of evidence. I don't know where my time is at, you know what I mean? But let me know when I'm at 6 minutes, please. Or at least like 2.5. Okay, good. All right. So like I said, there is even video of Buzz Aldrin himself saying that the footage that we saw from the moon landing is not the real footage. Yeah, they got damaged, whatever their excuses, right? All right, you lie one time, now everything else you say after that, it needs to be verified. I don't care who you are, especially governments. We all know governments lie, right? So I said this in my last debate. Go look up the website that is tracking how many citizens, right, have been killed by their own governments versus the amount of people who have been killed in the meat grinder that we call war, right? Governments are the most evil thing on the planet, 100%. All right, so I mean, this is the last thing I want to say on this, right? And like I said, whatever evidence you guys have, I'm just going to pick it apart and for its validity, right? But this is what I want you guys to understand, right? When we talk about slavery, right, it doesn't have anything to do with a color, right? Slavery is people forcing you to work and then taking your money after, all right? And we're really sophisticated now, so they have to come up with creative ways to steal your money. You understand? The most creative ways they have to steal the money, number one is fake space travel. I want to say the first $1 billion budget they were able to justify taking from the taxpayer money, giving to the citizens, was either the nuclear bombs, which are fake, right? And also the moon landing, right? Think about it. We're talking about $30 billion, right? That they took from you guys. And you're saying that the evidence that they actually utilized that $30 billion is a movie. It's literally a movie. That's what it is. So, look, if you, like, think about it. If I told you that somebody stole $30 billion from you, your ancestors, and your kids in the future, if you're not at least interested in finding out whether or not that's true, then you're kind of letting me know what team you work for. Because if somebody told me that somebody stole this much money from me, I would at least investigate it to want to know. I would want to verify, right, with empirical evidence that they actually did what they said they're doing with the money.
So there are whole organizations right now that are trying to audit NASA right now, right? I said, we don't even have to go into this because look, the main point that I want everybody to understand is that the government is stealing money from you, right? That's what taxes are. And you know how they justify it? Through creative ways, you know what I mean? Things that people hope are going to happen in the future. Oh, we're going to do this. Look, if you're not interested in validating whether or not they're not stealing the money from you, then I don't know. I kind of understand what team you work for. So I want to hear what you guys have to say. Go ahead, Dustin.
Just like a bird, Ross regurgitates all the key phrases that were spoon-fed to him in whatever echo chamber he crawled out of. He quickly establishes his passion for lying, stating that he studied it at the collegiate level. He then goes on a bit of a tangent about Saddam Hussein, the burden of proof, science denial, NASA, the moon landing, slavery, and nuclear weapons. All of these outrageous claims have been torn apart right in front of Ross's face, and every time it happens, it's an opportunity for Ross to prove to an audience that he isn't a pathetic fake. But time and time again, Ross fails to live up to being the humble student he describes himself as.
Teach me. I'm a student in your humble class. Teach me how you.
Oh no, you are an unwilling student.
But I don't have any respect for anybody. I don't believe anything anybody says.
You know, Ross, that qualifies as a lie. And once you've lied once, you need to back up everything you say. The following clip is one of my favorite times that Ross failed to pull it up. Ross manages to cite research that supports the exact opposite of his claim.
Right, I'm going to ask you to keep quiet for 1 minute, okay? Right. Dark matter. You went less than a second there, Ross. Less than 1 second. You are going to test your control.
I went longer than you, though.
You're going to test your control, and I want you to be quiet for 1 minute. Okay? Brilliant. Right.
But I'm confused. How do you test?
No, literally, not even a second, Ross. Right. 1 minute, starting now. Okay? Test your control. If you are claiming the predictions are based on electrostatics, then you need to provide evidence of that.
I'm not claiming anything.
That is exactly what you claim.
I said how did they isolate gravity versus electrostatics to make sure that it was gravity having that effect and not electrostatics, as Walter Lumen, MIT professor, seems to disagree with you on. Walter Lumen,
he
MIT,
doesn't.
Don't look it up. Don't take my word for it. Don't take Craig's word for it. Follow the MIT professors. Don't be a science denier like Craig.
Bring it up. Rant.
Confusing.
I told you guys, dumpster fire. Dumpster fire. Told you. He doesn't understand anything.
He said that in our known world, right? Not the solar system where we aren't at, not on the subatomic level where we aren't at, but on this level, everything is basically ran by electric forces. Almost a direct quote. Gravitational forces basically are too weak to come into play. He says gravitational forces are too weak to come into play.
Bring up where he says that. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I guarantee you he does not say that gravity has no effect.
He essentially does say that.
No, pull it up. Come on.
Walter Lewis and MIT, he disagrees with you.
Why are you screen sharing the debate back to me?
On my not screen. My bad. Here you go.
So where exactly does he say that the solar system is all electrostatics?
I'm gonna look for it, sir. Give me a second. Look.
It doesn't say it.
Well, you know, I know. Look, you have to actually open your ears, right, and then listen.
You know, I've watched this entire video, right?
Look. Then stop acting dumb. Then you want me to bring it up? Here it is.
You know, you're not playing any audio, right?
Do I have to share with audio or something, or is it just no audio?
You have to have the audio coming through to your Zoom.
Oh, okay.
Come on, I thought you were like
okay, well, if you've already seen it, then you already know. He goes on to break down the equations and how the electrostatic equations match and actually fit better than the gravitational equations.
Ross attempts to show the clip in question, but ultimately can't figure out how to share his screen with audio. Certain that there was no better way for me to be spending my finite time being alive, I watched Professor Lewin's lecture on electric charges and forces. As you are about to see, Professor Lewin says the exact opposite as to what Ross claims he said.
So what holds our world together? Well, on the nuclear scale, 10 to the minus 12 centimeters, very important are the nuclear forces. On an atomic scale, up to thousands of kilometers, it's really electric forces that hold our world together. But on a much larger scale, planets and stars and the galaxy, it is gravity that holds our world together. And now you may say, that's very inconsistent with what you just told us, because didn't you tell us that D cancels if you compare gravity with electricity?
Yes, but keep in mind that most objects in the universe have only a very small amount of charge per unit mass. The Earth and Mars have each a charge of about 400,000 coulombs. The gravitational force between them is therefore about 17 orders of magnitude larger than the electric force. So even though our immediate surroundings are dominated by electric forces, including your own body for that matter, the behavior of the universe on a large scale is dictated by gravity.
I'm not misrepresenting what he said. I said what he said word for word.
Professor Lewin points out that objects in the universe typically have a very small amount of charge per unit mass, and that is the cherry that Ross refuses to pick. Alright, I won't bore you with any more of that nerd shit, but trust me, I could bore you all day with nerd shit. Ross's dating advice is just as sacred as his forbidden academic knowledge.
I'm not saying that every woman in the world likes me or nothing like that. I mean, they definitely want to like me. You feel me? I'm a mean, aggressive person. This is a fact, but I'm not going to change that. Some women need that in their life because they're not so mean and aggressive. They're very soft and calm, and they want other people that can balance them out. And guess what? There's also women that I deal with that are on the other side of the spectrum. They're very aggressive, and so they can't deal with guys that are really, really soft. They need somebody like me that has no problem saying, "Shut the fuck up." And sometimes I say it like that just so I can laugh at myself saying it. Because it's funny. She really needs somebody to tell her shut the fuck up right now. And I don't really want to, but it would be funny if I said it. So I'm gonna say it just for the fact that she needs to hear it and it's funny. God damn it. And guess what? Me saying that is the reason why they're texting me right now.
Fascinated with Ross's advice, I found myself on his page searching for any interaction he has had with a woman. Here we get to see his Riz in action.
The only thing I could not have, obviously, is a penis. Game over at that point.
You could have no arms, no legs.
If I have no arms, no legs, and
Now don't get me wrong, penis is great, but I just don't relate to what Ross is saying here. You have to really, really love dick in order to be okay with no arms or legs, just penis.
Guys over here, you ever mean jacking him off so he feels powerful? Go do what that tongue ring is for, idiot.
Along with his burning passion for dicks, Ross is an aggressive person when he feels his intelligence has been insulted. As you might have guessed, he gets aggressive in the majority of his debates. Unfortunately, Ross can't separate his emotions from logic, and he ends up burning bridges with people that were exceptionally nice to him. Ross, if you don't like your intelligence being insulted, stop being a dumbass.
I respect both of you gentlemen, and I appreciate both perspectives. And I think more debates like this should happen about a lot more topics. So it was a pleasure. Craig, it was a pleasure. Ross, always a pleasure. And until the next one.
All right. Thank you very much, guys. I will speak to you later.
Yes,
have a nice one.
I appreciate you again, Craig. Take care, man.
Cheers, Ross. Catch you all later. And thank you very much, Keith. Yes, have a good evening. Bye.
All right. Well, Ross, thank you for coming on. We need some more debates, but I think we need a moderator. I think we should go back to modern day debates and do something over there, or maybe even over at Jeranisms.
I'm down with either one. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, even though, of course, you know, we go back and forth, like you've never been disrespectful to me. You know what I mean? And so,
shut you fucking idiot. No one likes you.
Yeah, no. When I asked you to oblige me by letting, you know, Keith come in and debate, you allowed me to do that, and so, you know, I will continue to oblige it. You know, whenever you need me, sir. I appreciate you having me on again.
All right, no worries.
Very good to see you guys. And by the way, I'm at Real Offended. I don't know, like, you know, Craig, you know, he just likes trolling me, you feel me? So you can follow me at Real Offended. Yeah, my name is Ross, but my handle is Real Offended. If you want to debate me on TikTok, I usually debate over there because a lot of people like this conversation on TikTok, but most of my content is posted on YouTube, Real Offended on all platforms.
I guess I'll have to go on my daughter's TikTok account so I can debate you or something over there.
I already told you about that. Hey, I already told you about that, Craig. If you want to do that weird stuff, that's
well. No, I'm just saying that my daughter's the one with the TikTok account, not me. So I'd have to use her account.
Don't bring up your daughter in a conversation with two grown men. All right, for real, that's weird.
Why not? I'm just saying that that's the account I'd have to use. I don't have one. So I mean, you made that weird, dude, not me.
I know, but every joke you've told has had little girls involved in it. It is getting weird. That's what I'm just saying. Stop thinking about little girls, Craig.
Well, my daughter is a little girl.
None of that happened. All right,
Okay.
let's get ourselves moving.
I'm just saying, you're 2 for 2, Craig. 2 for 2.
Let's get ourselves moving up on this, bitch. All right, we have 10 minutes on the timer.
Talking over my time.
I'm trying to get you on topic. I'm trying to get you to talk about Flat Earth. You ramble 3 minutes about everything else other than.
But you're taking up my time, so I gotta make fun of you now because you're taking up my time, and I'm trying to talk, and all you want to do is.
I mean, you can try, but my accent means I'm bilingual, and you're not.
And I am trying. I am trying, but you keep interrupting me, like as if people want to hear you talk.
Talk about Flat Earth.
You got a tongue ring too? What do you do with that? All right.
Yes.
So,
I make your mom's ears clap.
He makes my mom's ears clap. You see, this is the moderation. Again, I knew Craig was trolling me before I came on here. That's why I told him in the back, bro, stop acting like you're trying to have a debate, bro. And Craig even admitted in the back, the only reason why he still does this is because he gets paid. He doesn't believe in any of this stuff. He doesn't believe in any of this stuff. You feel me? Guys like this, Matt, get on with it. You feel me? He likes guys over here, you feel me, jacking him off so he feels powerful. And I was saying that, you know, I mean, just to reference my stream that I had earlier, right? Because it's not a Flat Earth debate. Like, let's be real. I can't even get my intro without getting interrupted, right? So
No. Okay, so we're going to stop the timer. I know you're muted. And we're going to stop going in all of these irrelevant tangents. And you're going to talk about Flat Earth when I unmute you. This is beyond stupid. Address Craig's opening. If you're opening, just stop with the random nonsense.
Okay, so this is what I'm about to do. Follow me on Real Offended on TikTok. Follow me Real Offended on YouTube. I'll finish my opening on TikTok. I'm about to bounce. You know what I mean? Craig brought me here to troll me. I'll let them get their troll on. You feel me? So I'll finish this on TikTok. All I asked for was 10 minutes uninterrupted.
What a giant, gaping blue whale pussy. You could fit
everybody
a
saw you
car
interrupt me.
inside it.
What a giant, gaping blue
Holy
whale pussy.
fuck.
You don't even know what a pussy looks like. You got a tongue ring. Shut up. Shut up with your tongue ring. Go do what that tongue ring is for, idiot. You're not fooling nobody. Your mom. Are you serious? You don't like my mom? You like my dad. You like my dad. You don't like my mom? Why you making jokes about my mom? You know you don't like my mom. Cut it out, bro. You want my dad. You want.
Shut the fuck up. And are we going to get the opening or what the fuck is happening here?
Oh no, he's left.
Oh.
Yeah, you did nothing wrong there. You tried to tell him to focus on Flat Earth.
Yeah, the funny thing is I get more pussy than Ross and his dad added up.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he can say whatever he wants, but I don't give a fuck.
Making unfounded implications like that is despicable, and it's why I don't have a problem calling attention to Ross's burning desire for penis. In a debate setting, each party is supposed to take an obvious side, or an obvious bias towards the topic. In the following clip I'm going to show, Ross thinks it's a good thing to be an unbiased party in a debate, which is laughably wrong. However, he is also wearing a towel on his head for this debate, so I have to open up the clip with his explanation of why. Enjoy.
Sounds like this is going to be the easiest debate I had all week.
I don't know what that means.
It means what it means.
I think it means he hasn't been debating all this week.
It means the words mean in English put together in a sentence.
Anyway, just picking.
How you doing, Paul? It's my first time meeting you. How you doing, sir?
How is it? Yeah, I'm doing very well. Thank you very much.
Are you Australian?
No, England.
You're British?
Yes.
I love the Brits. I love the Brits.
He loves them so much he can tell by your accent.
For you.
You ever give him a pass? Listen, everybody, he's European. They just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Take them a few minutes.
Persian, European, French.
And not the British kind. I'm like, if he was British, then I'd expect more, but you know.
Yeah.
What's on your head?
Fun.
What's on your head, Ross?
It's a sweat rag. I have large ears, and these headphones are small, and so it helps my ears from hurting when I have them on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They get sucked, right? The ears get sucked.
I don't know what.
It is a little strange. What?
You have a sweat rag. What's going on? It's like super warm where you are. Like it's freezing in Nova Scotia right now.
Yeah, you know when I get the.
You could get earbuds.
He said, "Well, those hurt my ears too, because somehow my ears are small on the inside. They're shaped perfectly to where I need this towel for some reason. I don't know."
We won't judge.
I can't believe that technology doesn't exist to solve that problem elsewhere. But no, you go. You rock.
Hey, you know what?
You rock that towel.
I appreciate that. And you know what? I can't believe technology doesn't exist to actually produce conclusive evidence that the Earth has curve yet. But yet here we are, right? Yet here we are. There's still no technology to just put us all to rest. I mean, you could just invent some technology to give me conclusive answers, and I'd be quiet forever. But you can't do it. I'm dumbfounded.
Can you imagine the world that if he actually was honest, where he would be quiet forever?
Well, about this,
that'd be so good.
It would never be quiet forever.
It'd be so good if he'd be quiet forever. Every one of the 8.2 billion people on the planet would celebrate.
Mattoon, who would haunt your nightmares if I stopped talking, Mattoon? Who would you wake up having cold sweats about in the middle of the night, like,
I forgot you existed, dude.
Vince, so far, I gotta say, I think you're winning, Vince. You know what I mean? Like I said, I asked for measurements of the actual ground. I predicted we were only gonna get measurements from the sky.
You didn't get any measurements of the ground from Vince.
There's not. I didn't. Hey, I'm not. I've been quiet. There's not a single flat, curved Earth measurement that we have ever. The globe has never been. The globe has never ever been confirmed scientifically with science.
There's an assertion again.
Ever.
Another assertion.
The only thing that's ever been confirmed is experiments relating to the sky. All right.
Yes.
Another assertion without evidence.
Hold on, you gotta let somebody else jump in, Ross. All right, so over to MC.
All you've done is made assertions without evidence. So I don't care about your lie about being unbiased. You are biased. You are here as an intentionally biased participant. That is your job here, to be biased, to support your position that the Earth is flat. You made your position clear in the beginning that you think the Earth is flat. And so here is, I'll show you. You asked me, Ross. I'm sharing my screen. I'm sorry, Ryan, I didn't. For how the flat Earth
having a good attitude.
does not allow the sun to be below the horizon. So here is the geometry showing that the sun cannot be below the horizon. You can,
but pictures aren't evidence. You cannot.
This is.
I'm gonna put you on just to chill out. Just 1 second. Go ahead, MC.
You asked for evidence. The evidence would be a geometrical analysis of it. That's what this is. So a geometrical analysis is how you determine what the flat Earth predicts. That's this. So the flat Earth predicts that the sun must be above the horizon all of the time, every day of the year, no matter where you are, because the sun is a significant elevation above it, and that can never be below the horizon. So the photo that Vince showed contradicts what I'm showing you right here. It does not work. But if you think it works, the burden is on you to provide the geometry showing that it matches observations of 34 degrees to 13 degrees angular elevation. Not just to say, no, that's a cartoon. You have the burden to provide the geometry. All right, Ryan, I'm going to stop the share.
All right, so just as I predicted, no conclusive evidence, no scientific experiments, more pictures, and a straw Dubé. That's a new word I just coined for, not a straw Dubé. I don't really know what Eric Dubé believes. I've never actually listened to Eric Dubé one time. All right, I'm an unbiased party. I have looked for the evidence that the Earth is a globe. I have not seen it. Every time I look for the evidence, they tell me to look up. Hey, can you show me evidence of what's going on below? Look up.
It's like religion. Look up to God, right?
Hey, Ryan.
It is a religion, isn't it, Vince? I'm like,
Ryan,
it is.
I have a question.
Ryan, somebody's asking me a question.
I have a question. What is the name of this debate?
So it's flat versus globe.
Okay.
The final.
So now in this flat versus globe, what was the intention of the debaters in this? You two people of one side, two people on the other side. What is shush, Ross? I'm asking a question to Ryan. What was what was my position and Paul's? Shush, Ross.
Just 1 second. All right.
I want to establish one more characteristic of Ross's behavior, and that is his habit of shoving words into other people's mouths. You may have noticed him doing this in some earlier clips, especially when he says, "Science says this." But Ross doesn't hesitate to shove words into his opponent's mouths and then argue against claims that nobody ever made.
And they discovered this in the 50s when they looked at the galaxy clusters and realized that there was not enough gravity to keep the galaxies from escaping. You understand? So that's when they actually had to change gravity. Literally, when I went to school in 2010, the very first classes they had me take were linguistics classes and logic 101. So that way we could learn how to make logical arguments that were also sound, right? And then not only that, we could learn how to use words properly.
Excuse me, if something was not created, then that means that it was created. That is a true dichotomy, you know.
It was a scientific consensus back then that there was an ether. And let's be honest, it's scientific consensus now that there is an ether. And I hear you guys say this all the time, that so many of the things that we do today depend on the earth being a globe. No. The only thing that our way of life depends on is the fact that there is an ether. Nikola Tesla literally said, I had to assume that there was an ether and that it acted like this in order to invent all of our modern inventions that we have today. They all depend on the fact that there was an ether.
So there is no ether. No physicist today thinks that there's an ether, at least not when actually doing anything in experimental physics. So it doesn't move through any medium like an ether at all. And that is why physicists first assumed there was an ether and then later abandoned the notion on top of the experiments that showed that there was no ether.
You keep saying no philosopher. I want you to understand the words that you're using. Linguistics. You're using the proper word, philosopher of science, not scientist. Okay, philosopher.
I believe I know why Ross behaves the way he does, and to put it simply, it's to chase clout. Upon watching one of Ross's live streams, I learned that he had been watching Kai Cenat's influencer courses. With that context, it's obvious that Ross thinks he is generating some sort of shocking content that will grab viewers' attention.
I know he would, but once you sent me that article, I was like, what the? I'm like,
yeah, it seems that it was the first time that you'd been exposed to actual real things that scientists do. So anyway,
things that scientists do.
Kinematics.
That's the first time. Reading a paper is the first time I've been exposed to real things that scientists do.
That wasn't a paper. That's a website describing how science is done. So the kinematics.
The first time I've been exposed to real things that scientists do. What the?
In moments like this, it becomes obvious that Ross is here for nothing more than to generate clips. And as you can see on his channel page here, it's a matter of throwing everything at the wall to see what sticks. So far, nothing has. And that's going to be my final point for this one. I appreciate everybody that stuck around and watched through the end, but for now, get the hell out of my van.